Hello, everyone, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. If you enjoy commentary without all the fluff, join our family by subscribing. So, without further ado, let's get started. 2020 has proven to be a formidable year, and this man, pastor extraordinaire, John Gray, is back in the headlines again. If you recall 2 months ago, he made another confession that he was having an affair again and gave this impassioned plea to the congregation and a public apology to his wife. And as if that wasn't enough of a spectacle, he has once again rose to the occasion to top his last display of stupidity and, quite frankly, arrogance by posting this image of his wife on his Instagram and this lengthy message which reads, "A few months ago, I sat down from leading at Relentless. My life wasn't in order. Church isn't first. My wife is. This is my wife. She is from God. She is a life giver. She is a kingdom builder. Her name is Aventure. I met her at church. She was worshiping God through dance. Over time, she allowed me in her life and let me dance with her. She took my ring and said yes, and we began our forever journey. What my dance partner didn't know was that I was very much unfinished. Aren't we all? I never knew what consistent discipline, planning, leadership, manhood, or personal holiness in action from a man's standpoint looked like. Living a shadow life, God was unwilling to let me die, assuming I was whole. I failed to uphold the holy standard of God in my marriage, and I'm sorry. Although you are the only woman I've ever slept with, emotional unfaithfulness is just as wrong. Sin is sin. People want to minimize one sin over another when it all can get you sent to hell. My marriage forced me to face both of me, flesh versus spirit. It is every man's battle. Loving God isn't enough. Preaching Jesus isn't enough. Face yourself, get delivered, or hurt the ones who actually love you the most. I started intense counseling, personal and for my marriage, in the summer. Scariest thing ever, most necessary thing ever. I had no one to blame. My life is my responsibility, and admit you're wrong, God deserves better. My wife deserves better. The pain I caused her is immeasurable. Seeing her name in blogs because of things I did broke my soul. So since I was the cause of public embarrassment, let me be just as loud about public honor. Aventure, you are a miracle to me. I am sorry for the pain I have caused you. Your name should have never come up in any conversation in any negative way with anyone ever. I must do the work to earn your trust. I've lived a life I am not proud of in so many areas, but before I die, I will be the man God intended and husband that your heart can rest with. I will be the father my kids can be proud of. I will be the pastor Relentless can stand behind. I am in the process and I will stay in it. May the man I am becoming match the vision God showed you. I love you." Now that was a lot. Now I understand one's motivation to publicly right a wrong, done behind closed doors, in order to show that you're contrite with your intentions in the future. But this man has got to learn that he should be still. Period. John Gray is the definition of doing too much. Of course, at first, I was empathetic to his wife's position on this matter. But now I know that she is complicit in his goal to what seems to be to ascend to the heights of celebrity, or make sure he maintains some kind of celebrity status, because that is the only explanation that makes sense here. My last commentary on pastors behaving badly was about what appears to be a friend of his, Carl Lentz, who, as I reported, admitted that he was also involved in a relationship with a woman that was not his wife. He was then fired. And one would think that the book of John Gray would be closed for 2020 at least. But no, he feels it necessary to resurface with this ridiculous post. With the loss of our beloved Bishop Rance Allen and the way 2020 is going, I wanted to ask a question. What is going on in the church? And when I ask the question, I'm not referring to Bishop Rance Allen's transition, but what happened to they will know us by our actions, know us by how we show up in the world. Lately, there seems to be no differentiation between leaders who are in the world, so to speak, and those that are supposed to be called to lead the flock. I've said this before, that 2020 has proven to be a year of revelation, and it is our job to take some account and call a thing a thing. Meaning, if these people who are in the pulpit, giving the rest of us a bad name, and are leading people away from the intended purpose, which is to get souls to heaven, we need to get rid of them. I mean, we pay their salaries, so if they are not serving the church as they should, it's time to clean house. Jesus did it when they were using the church for selling and stuff it shouldn't be used for. Oh, and this talk about forgiveness and not judging, I get it. But let's get this straight. If your right hand is going to end up costing you your soul, it's time to cut it off. And for those who most certainly love to recite their favorite Bible verse, Matthew 7:1, as a retort, where it says, "Judge not, that you be not judged." This isn't judgment. I leave that to God. What this is seeing our faith being ridiculed and used by people for financial gain under the guise of being called by God, and calling it out in the hopes that the powers that be do something about it. Because something must be done. Now, I know you're probably saying, why does she care so much and why is she so passionate about this? Because I believe that as Christians, we are to defend the church, period, the faith, and not the building, but its foundation. And yes, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there he will be. But as I said, it's not about the brick and mortar, but the fact that our faith is on trial, and the secular world, as they call it, is the judge and jury. And some of these self-professed leaders are willing to supply the prosecution with exhibits A through Z to aid with leading folks away from Jesus. And that is my issue. It's time we wake up and hold people accountable. Hillsong Church did it. Relentless Church should too. Gray has had one too many strikes. I'm sure you agree, but if you don't, or you do, let me know in the comment section. And as usual, these are just my thoughts. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, like and share. Also turn on your notification bell and stay tuned for more. And I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.